How do you see illegal immigration, migration in Europe? We are seeing this phenomenon, aren't we? Illegal immigration, illegal migration all across the Western world, into the Western world. It's happening in the US. The southern border has been opened up by the Biden regime, and millions of individuals have been allowed to cross over into the US, and they've been allowed to they've been transported to various parts of the US, far and wide, and they will all vote Democrat, obviously, right? Uh, so millions have come into the US. It's gonna change the US permanently, demographically, culturally, politically, etc. It'll permanently change the US. What about Europe? Millions of military age men, single men without families, are being brought into the various nations in Europe. France has had this problem for a long time. It's getting worse. Italy has had this. The Nordic nations, Denmark, Sweden, etc. Good God, they used to be really peaceful nations. Now there's rampant crime of various kinds, horrible kinds, all across there. UK, oh good God, UK. Ah, things are really bad in the UK. In all these various European nations, illegal immigration, clearly illegal. It's against the law, but it's being allowed. And it looks like the EU leadership in Brussels has quotas for every nation, and they have to abide by these quotas and all that. We are witnessing probably the largest mass migration in known history, recorded human history. And we are not even recognizing that this is such a pivotal moment in history. The entire demographic and cultural destiny of the Western world is being rewritten right now. It's been re engineered right now by some power. One wonders what that power is. But the West is destroying itself. So, how do I see this? Well, it doesn't affect me. Of course, it affects the whole world, actually. It is going to affect the whole world in so many ways. First of all, we in the past used to look up to the West for its high standards, right? The West had high standards, living standards, rule of law, uh, efficiency of the governance machinery, and so on and so forth. So many things. You see a significant decline of those standards happening right now in the West. So much is going to change in the West. In a few years, Indians are always wondering, which country do I go to settle down in? In the past, it used to be the US, Canada, Australia, England, sometimes New Zealand, otherwise various European nations. Now, today, I'm sure Indians are wondering, where on earth do we go to settle down? Obviously, we want to escape India because of its abysmal living standards and all that, corruption, lack of merit. Okay, so on. So, where do I go to settle down? In the past, if you were from Punjab, it used to be Canada. Canada is big. I wonder if Canada is that attractive, and it's still that attractive. The US has all these problems, social problems, societal problems. So we are witnessing probably the largest migration in recorded history. It's being engineered. This is the largest. It's also the largest example in history of demographic re-engineering, cultural, social, demographic, religious, political re-engineering. And imagine the power behind it, how powerful it has to be to do this on multiple continents. Even Japan is being forced to absorb undesirable immigrants. Japan is being forced into it. Japan is going to be destroyed by this. One of my favorite countries. Japan is going to be destroyed by this. They're in the process of destroying Japan demographically. They already destroyed it economically, haven't they? Now they're destroying it demographically. South America thus far is immune from this. Let's see how it goes, because the South American nations are all vassals of the US. They can't do a thing against the US. So my point is, we are witnessing the largest demographic, cultural, social, political, religious re-engineering in human history. We are living through it right now. We are witnessing one of the largest mass migrations in human history. And imagine how powerful you have to be able to engineer this all across multiple continents. So yeah, that's how I see illegal migration, not just in Europe but everywhere else.